I'm not going to be able to use TikTok anymore? Come on, Big Game James here? No, don't worry. You'll still be able to use TikTok. Ownership's just changing, just like with any other stock. What's up, everybody? Back to another episode of the James Urrutia Show. I'm your host, Big Game James, and today we're diving into a topic that's been making headlines recently, the potential ban of TikTok in the United States. The U.S. House of Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a bill that would give TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance about 6 months to divest its U.S. assets or face a nationwide ban. But what does this mean for the millions of TikTok users across the country? So why do you think U.S. officials are pushing for this ban? Well, I know there's some conspiracy theories out there, but according to them, TikTok's management could be influenced by the Chinese government, posing risks to national security and other things like that. Imagine China using the popular social media app to sway public opinion during the 24 U.S. elections. Is that a scary thought? Is it not? What do you think? Now let's break it down what the bill actually means. Essentially, it's a response to growing concerns about national security. Politicians are keen to show that they're tough on China. But it's not just politics, it's to them, as they're arguing, that it's about protecting American users from potential surveillance and censorship by foreign governments. They want to keep all our data. The U.S. wants to keep all our data themselves. They don't want foreign governments to have it, I guess. The bill passed with overwhelming support from both Republicans and Democrats in the House of Representatives, but not everyone has been on board. Some prominent Democrats, including AOC, raised concerns about privacy, antitrust issues. It's a reminder that this issue isn't just black and white. There really are a lot of gray areas to consider, and it's just scary to think of what this could lead to. I mean, we've already basically given the U.S. government total control over our digital lives, and so what else do they want? I don't know. It's such a tough issue when we talk about constitutional rights of privacy. But even how would this ban be enforced? If the bill becomes law, ByteDance would only have 6 months to sell off all of TikTok's U.S. assets. So don't worry, heavy TikTok users. You'll still be able to use TikTok. We don't expect the ban, if it all goes all the way through, will get rid of TikTok. Will get rid of Chinese ownership of TikTok. If you're wondering if TikTok's banned in other countries, so the answer is yes. India and Nepal have already banned TikTok over national security concerns, and several other countries, including the U.S., has restricted its use on government-owned devices. It seems like TikTok's global reach has landed it in hot water once again. What I think we need to do, what I'm interested in doing, maybe we get our team to do this, is look at what TikTok's kind of terms and conditions are and what data they're allowed to collect based on that versus other apps. I'm imagining it's not that different. You know, TikTok is collecting, I guarantee you, about the same amount of data as all the other apps. It's just, it's owned by China. So that's the real issue here. Some senators are advocating for a different approach to regulating foreign-owned apps. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has promised a thorough review. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Really, to me, this is just another consequence of globalization. And what we all have to remember, especially as citizens of the world, is that there are real enemies. No matter how excited we are, no matter how progressive you feel you are. I just used the term citizen of the world. I know that term is like scratching chalkboard on some people's ears. But whether you believe U.S. citizenship is all that matters to you, whether you believe you're a citizen of the world, whatever your political stance is, there are real enemies that we all have. And we've enjoyed living in the society we live. And yes, we have problems here in the U.S., like every society. And we're all working to improve our community, improve the lives of all those around us. being a good citizen means you care about every citizen in your community. But there are evil forces in the world, and we do have to beware of that. And I know that feels kind of abstract. It's hard to think about. It can be scary to think about. And so, in my personal opinion, there can be good reasons to keep data, private data, away from foreign governments who are arguably our enemies. I really have no interest in being bombed by any foreign government. And no matter how much I hate the United States or love the United States, I personally don't want to get bombed. I personally don't want to get invaded. I personally enjoy the freedom of movement I have where I live. And things could be a lot worse. A lot of citizens of other parts of the world have things a lot worse than we have them here in Las Vegas. And so it's just a scary thought. And luckily, the United States, again, wherever you are on the political spectrum, and no matter what you think about the United States government and the United States military, and the opinions vary widely, I'd rather right now not have foreign occupation. Right? It's even if you consider the United States military an enemy, it's there's that saying of it's the enemy the enemy you know is better than the enemy you don't know. I don't want to get bombed. I like my life. I know it's a little self-interested. I like what we're trying to do in the United States, and so there's some real reasons why we don't want foreign entities to have all of our data. And yes, on a personal level, to give you my opinion, I think the United States government shouldn't have all my data, and the amount of data that we give to them through the use of our digital devices and applications, I think is absurd. And I hope that over time we can actually have stronger privacy laws to protect us as citizens. And in some respects, I feel like I've already lost hope that we can get that privacy back. I feel like we've already kind of given up a lot of our privacy to our own government. But the rub here, and what TikTok it's happening, is how much of that should we be giving to other entities? And it's tough. It's a tough issue, and so everybody falls on in different places. I think that this is kind of just an easy issue for all these politicians to get behind, to say they enacted some change. They can say yes to the TikTok ban. I think at the end of the day, the ones who are saying yes, the majority of them don't really care. They know that TikTok's going to keep being used, and it's an easy vote to say they did something, So they're clearly, in my mind, think that it's an easy vote to get some independents on their side, to get some of the middle on their side, that they voted for national security. And so in the, whether they think it's actually happening or not. So here we go. We're in an election year. We're going to be hearing more of these kind of stories as we go. The House is going to be voting on who knows what else that they think that they'll be able to pander to their electorate with. And so that's what's going on here. I'm interested to see what the Senate does. I'm interested to see what Biden does. And so we'll see if it even makes it to the president's desk. I won't be surprised if the bill, the House did what they wanted to do for their votes, and now it'll be interesting to see if this even gets to the president's desk prior to the election. There's a real reason why, for a lot of just straight political reasons, why this bill will never make it to the president's desk. So there you have it, folks. Big Game James, trying to stay out of politics. Love talking about it, but man, I'm in the middle, and I just hate the far ends of both sides. It just sucks that we've become so divisive on all these issues. But thank you again. Big Game James here, James Urrutia Show, coming at you next week. We'll have another show for you. Don't forget to subscribe.